everyone, I'm Laurel Stone, and today's episode is going to be about some simple and easy wards. Wards are really important, and as someone who left learning wards until a bit later in their practice, I can tell you that they are something you don't really think of until you need them. We'll get into the whys of wards and then a couple of quick and easy ones. So, when I say wards, you probably think of them the same way that I did, which is solely a protection from spells that others are sending at you. That is not the case. Wards can be a way of delineating the energy of an area, making sure that your spells don't leak out, cleansing energy that enters the area, keeping out spirits, and more. The first time that I realized that I needed wards was when I had been working on communicating with spirits, and one got frustrated that I couldn't understand him. He wound up attacking, and a spirit that resided in a tree wound up protecting me. From there, I started with one ward to keep out any spirits that would cause trouble. At this point, I have several, and really feel that nesting wards is much better. Nesting wards allows for each to be tailored to a specific purpose so that all of the strength of the ward is put towards that one purpose instead of being spread between multiple purposes. My first ward for today is a take on a mirror box. Instead of placing mirrors around an enemy and reflecting their spells back on them, this uses a hematite cabochon to reflect spells and bad energy back to the sender, even without knowing them. Hematite is a grounding stone and can be used for absorbing negative energy, so anything that this spell can't reflect back to the sender, such as if they have a reflective ward too, will be grounded and dissipated. There is one thing about hematite that surprised me when I learned it, however. A lot of hematite out there for sale, especially the cheaper hematite, is hematine, which is a man-made version of hematite, or hema-like. It is often used in magnetic jewelry. The easy way to tell which is with a streak test. Hematite has a rust-red colored streak. However, I feel the same energy from the faux stone that I feel from natural hematite, so I use a synthetic stone with the intent and purpose of reflecting energy and spells back to the sender. I charge it and remind it of its purpose monthly. The next up is a sand trap from Scott Cunningham's Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. I use it to absorb and ground negative energy when I walk past. The original spell says to bury it at the corner of your property, but I didn't want to do that for multiple reasons. I had gotten the soil from a place special to me. I wouldn't be living at the place I created it for a long time. I really liked the way it turned out, and looking at it helped to remind me to tap into it when I needed just a bit more cleansing. Unfortunately, it wound up getting knocked off of a window ledge and breaking, so I made another one that's pictured. I bought the sand, since I couldn't go out and get the materials, and wound up getting black and white sand without thinking about how the finished jar would look. I'm not really sure if it looks like a zebra, a black and white cake, but it definitely looks different. The spell is basically taking one color of sand and layering it, while infusing it with energy and telling it its purpose, and then layering the next color and telling that its purpose. Alternate between the two, and seal the jar with the sand packed tightly so it doesn't shift. I superglued down the stopper on both of my jars because the cork can fall out. Any kind of jar can be used to contain the sand, just clean it out and make sure it seals well. Some people burn candles on top of the jars and seal it by dribbling wax down it. If you want to make the spell more ritualistic, you can take a protection candle, add a few drops of wax to the bottom of the jar, burn the candle while filling the jar, and then place the candle on top and let it burn down, or dribble wax all around the seal of the jar. You can even tuck sigils or small stones or crystals in between the layers of sand if you want. That's one of the things that's so versatile about this spell. The last word that I will go over is more energy work than a traditional spell. It is raising a barrier of energy designed to keep a specific thing out. I use a version of this to keep spirits out of my room. It's a lot like drawing a circle for a spell, but the energy is tuned to keep out a specific thing. It is also designed to last longer than the one used when you're casting spells. There are two ways you can power this spell. Either ground it and use the energy from the earth to keep it going, or use your own energy and charge it every few days or weekly. Using your own energy makes it easier to sense if the barrier has been broken, but it will also stop existing if you forget to charge it, which is my problem. Also, when charging it, if your intent is different than when you created it, it can create another ward. You can also end up overcharging the wards. So this has just been a couple of quick takes on a word spell, and I hope that it is helpful to all of you out there.